Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today we are talking about this little sucker, Zelenka Trio Sonatas. Yes, the Zelenka Trio Sonatas, again, actually, by Heinz Holliger and Maurice Bourgue, oboes, Thomas Zehetmair, violin, he's wonderful, Klaus Thunemann, bassoon, Klaus Stoll, double bass, Jonathan Rubin, lute, and Christiane Jaccottet, harpsichord. Oh, this is such great music. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Zelenka lived from, 1679 to 1745. So he had a pretty good life. He was miserable. He was regularly ignored. He composed almost entirely liturgical music. Wonderful, strange, quirky liturgical music. In fact, I have some of it sitting right up there. Oh, what's this one? Yes, this is the one you also should be getting. It should be in this series, the Missa Dei Filii. Oh, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. His music, he's one of the few Baroque composers who had an instantly identifiable melodic style and harmonic style. He sounds like nobody else. I mean, he likes syncopated rhythms. He likes phrasing in prime numbers, 5 bars, 7 bars, strange phrase lengths that go on spindly, that go on really intricate counterpoint, but with tunes mixed in. And he was Czech, and this Czech folk sort of idiom is evident in his work as well. He really doesn't sound like anybody else. He's enormously characterful. He was active at the court of Dresden for most of his career. And among his non-liturgical music, of which there's very little, there is a tiny handful of orchestral works, 5 capriccios, something called a hypochondriac, which sounds like a Baroque tango, a really weird thing, a sinfonia, an overture, and that's about it. It's like 7 or 8 pieces. And then these 6 trio sonatas. Now, trio sonatas, in case you're wondering what a trio sonata is, it's a piece of instrumental music in several movements and 3 parts. Not 3 instruments, 3 parts. Usually what that means is 2 melody instruments, in this case 2 oboes or an oboe and a violin, and bass, which is the 3rd part, the continuo bass line. The bass line is the part which is filled out by the harpsichord and lute and all those other people. So even though it's a trio sonata, or you may just call it a trio for short, it doesn't take 3 people to play it, actually. It usually takes quite a few bit more. You can have as many as 5 or 6 or 7, depending on what you use in the accompaniment. The melodic lines, of course, are going to be, solo lines. Or alternately, you have Bach's organ trios, which are played by one person, 2 hands, and your feet being the 3rd part, both feet being 1 part. So, it's what matters in Baroque music is the number of parts or voices, not the number of people assigned to those voices. So let's get that straight. And now that we do, these are incredible virtuoso works. I mean, Zelenka was like Bach in the sense that he was seemingly immune to the human limitations of his players, or he had enormously talented and gifted players that he was writing for, which is also a possibility. I mean, the Dresden Court Orchestra was one of the greatest of its period and had some of the best musicians in it. So yes, that's possible. It's entirely possible. But these pieces are the sort of apotheosis of Baroque woodwind music, especially for the oboe. They're amazing. And Heinz Holliger has recorded them more than once. He did them. Wait a minute. Here they are. You have to keep your Zelenka handy. It's like I said, you have to keep Kurt Sanderling handy. There's some things I just keep handy. I can just reach out, boom, and grab them. So here we have the DG Archive cheapie box that contains all the orchestral works and the trio sonatas with the Camerata Bern. And Holliger did, with mostly the same players, that is Holliger and Bourgue and Thunemann and Christiane Jaccottet and those people were all involved in his first recording of these, which is excellent. But go find it. I mean, who knows what Archive did with it. It's ridiculous. That box should have been in print forever, especially for the orchestral works, which are marvelous. There's, they've been recorded a few times since. There's a good CPO recording of them too. But why delete it when you're like one of the only shows in town, right? but they do nothing to promote this stuff. So Zelenka is this extraordinary guy. He was admired by Bach, and Bach regarded him as something really special. And enjoyed his music tremendously. And these performances are just the last word in virtuosity, and they are glowingly recorded by ECM. And thank God Holliger was around to do them over. Sometimes sequels, or repeats don't come out as well. This time they came out just as well, if not better. They really did. And so here it is, ECM, the Zelenka Trio Sonatas, the one of the ultimate Baroque sets of instrumental pieces, and certainly one of the greatest recordings ever. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.